Welcome to Trauma Recovery Out Loud, where we talk about where we've been, where we are, and where we're going in our trauma recovery journeys. Join us and get some insights and encouragement to keep going and keep growing. Let's go.
Lever, crunk.
Why do we even have that lever?
Yeah, really. Yeah. So, hello and welcome back to
Welcome
the podcast.
back.
We took a long break.
Hey,
We sure did.
that we
At least
did.
it feels long. I mean, we stopped mid-December and it's now mid-January, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
about a month.
So about a
Just
month.
about.
Yeah. So we are starting a whole new series. We're going to focus for a while on health and wellness because, this whole trauma recovery journey is difficult. Journey. What is that word?
What's your journey?
Journey?
I tell you what, I have been having problems with saying words lately. The weirdest stuff comes out of my mouth.
Words are hard.
Yes, words are hard.
Just, yeah, I mean,
Shout out.
adding a random syllable,
Shout out to
Journey.
Evan and Caitlin. They have a T-shirt that says "Words are hard."
Oh, gotcha.
The podcasters extraordinaire with their the king and queen of oh god, what's it called? This epoxy. Epoxy.
If you know, you know.
They do epoxy projects.
Okay.
So they're lauded as the king and queen on the YouTubes
YouTube's.
of epoxy. Everybody turns to them. Anyway, but they have a T-shirt said "Words are hard." So it's not unprecedented that YouTubers are, struggling. Words. Anyway, yeah. So trauma recovery is difficult, and we need to support ourselves through it. And we're going to talk about it all the ways
All the ways. All the ways.
that we can think of.
That we can think of, yes.
There might be other ways. I mean, there's some ways that we're probably not going to be into. Like, we're definitely not into any sort of paganism or New Age stuff, or
Right.
Yeah.
so we're probably not going to mention any of that. But
All the sensible ways.
practical, normal, sensible ways. I mean, don't be
Yes.
offended if you're listening to this and you're into that stuff. We're not
Yeah.
into it.
That's not our thing.
But we want to appeal to everybody, whatever they believe. So we're trying to focus on things that are good for everyone. So, but we were talking about it the other day, like we were trying to plan, and we were sort of like, where do we even start? Like, well, we found, or at least I did, I think you guys probably eventually agreed with me, that self-defense, when we were doing that, starts with how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which sounds a little crazy because most people think self-defense starts with using a weapon or learning how to
Mhm.
punch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or focusing on, stopping an attacker. It's focused on them.
Right. But as women, at least as women, we found that people freeze way too much when it comes to that kind of thing. And self-defense training helps you overcome the freeze. So the freezing could be happening because you don't want to protect yourself.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So it's the same idea with this whole trauma recovery thing. Like, why do you even want to take care of yourself? Because a lot of people who have trauma, PTSD and the like, have depression and other issues that create like a lack of desire to take care of oneself. They live in a lot of denial. They don't want to go to the doctors. They don't want to deal with problems. So they just avoid it. I know I've been one of those people.
Yeah.
And I've found that it actually helps reduce anxiety to focus on my health because I'm more on top of things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Agreed.
So, I've developed some practices with my life that I think are universally helpful, and most of it starts with your attitude. So we're going to talk about
your attitude.
What was it again, Evelyn?
How do I feel about myself and why?
How do I feel about myself and why? Because just like self-defense, the attitude, the tude is what's really going to drive you to take care of yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And it's surprising how difficult it is to actually care about yourself when you've been through severe trauma. I have been struggling with that pretty much my entire life. Actually caring enough to take care of myself is a very deep-seated problem that I did not expect to be. Because, in the 90s, we heard about self-esteem and all these types of things, and I didn't think much about it. I wasn't aware that I had trauma as badly as I do at that time, but I didn't think anything of self-esteem or what it really meant. And now, all these years later, how you view yourself really dictates how you treat yourself and what you do, whether you have trauma or not, really. Because, everybody has struggles, and everybody can have a low opinion. People can have a low opinion of themselves and not take care of themselves with or without trauma. It's just more likely when you have trauma.
Yeah.
And how you regard yourself determines, I feel like it's almost like a form of, at least for me, and this harkens to some pretty deep wounds, but we're going to focus on this. But it's almost like I'm punishing myself in a way. That's how it feels. When it was at its worst, that's how it felt. Like I don't take care of myself, and it's almost like a self-flagellation. And not taking care of myself resulted in some pretty serious health problems for me. It's a fight to care enough every day to do the things I need to do to take care of myself. And I did not expect that battle, but here we are. And I think that people don't realize that's a challenge that you don't expect to have, to actually care enough. Because I remember back when we started doing self-defense, way back, how many years ago it was, before I became a martial artist, the question of, do I think I'm worth protecting was such a profound question for me to realize I didn't think I was worth anything, much less protecting. And that parlayed into what we're talking about now.
Yeah. Yeah. I for a long time, this is so weird. I'm in my 50s now, and I'm looking back at my 20s and my 30s as if it were a different lifetime. It seems so long ago, right?
I get that.
But when I was in my 20s, especially, I had so many issues that I didn't understand what I was dealing with, first of all. I knew something was wrong, but I really didn't know what. I had already started into therapy by age 20. But honestly, I wasn't very up on like I am now on what I was dealing with. So going to the doctors, paying my bills, that kind of thing, doing any of the normal adult things were not normal for me.
Yeah.
And I had to learn how to grow up pretty quickly because I had a kid. I was a single parent pretty much right off the bat. I think I was married for approximately, I was together with my first husband approximately 3 years. And then he left, and then I was alone for a while. But, pains in my body I would ignore.
Yeah.
That ended up being like needing surgery.
Yeah.
I've had so many abdominal surgeries by now. It's like kind of lost track. But a lot of it is related to my stress. Like, the last two I think were stress related. And they were major abdominal surgeries. Like, it was really rough. But my eating being out of control and ignoring my health, like I had developed a allergy to corn
Mhm.
I didn't know about because I was ignoring all the signs in my body. I was just eating
Mhm.
and just ignoring everything else
Yeah.
until it got so bad that I ended up in the hospital with chest pain.
Mm.
I didn't have a heart
Yeah.
problem, but it turned out to be gastritis. But
Mm.
that was me ignoring
Mhm.
it. And that was in
Yeah.
my 40s, I guess.
Yeah.
It wasn't until 10 or so years ago. Now I've been training with Mike now 7 years. I didn't his one child is 7 years old. I met him when his wife was pregnant with her. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wow,
Yeah.
it's
He's
been
your,
7 years.
Mm,
in
a
case
long
you're
time.
wondering, Mike is her personal trainer.
He's my personal
Yeah.
trainer. I had been trying, like I had met personal trainers at the local Y, a
Mhm.
couple of them. And one of them was working out fine, but she just suddenly left and
Mm.
then never contacted me to have me come to her house. Like it never happened.
Yeah.
So I was
Just,
without for a while, but I was dedicated to going. I just needed direction. And then I met Mike.
mhm.
He actually attracted me because he was in the Y being his super boisterous, loud self.
ADHD self. Yes.
ADHD. Well, I don't know if he has ADHD, but it seems likely.
Yeah, he told
Yes.
me, he mentioned it to me that he did, so.
Okay. He's going to come on our podcast sometime soon and talk about stuff. So you'll get to meet him.
Yeah. You'll get to see.
Yeah. Anyway, but I met him and meeting him has been a major boon to my life because his encouragement, his focus, his dedication really helps me to be focused on my health.
Mhm.
And the doctor I have right now, I've had her for about, I guess it's been 3 years this January. I think it's been 3 years. Almost at the same time, I found out I was diabetic. I was becoming menopausal. What was the third thing I mentioned? There's 3 things happening at once.
I don't know.
I needed major abdominal surgery. Anyway. Oh, that's right. I was talking about a medication. It's been messing with my memory.
Yeah.
For the last 3 years. Anyway. So I've been meeting with her a lot. I actually see her once a month right now to talk about my diabetes, talk about my eating habits. And it's been very good for my health to do so. But this didn't all happen at once. I had a very poor attitude.
Mhm.
I've had to develop a sense of self and a sense of dedication to my health in order to be able to do anything about it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so many things have gone awry. Like I said, I've had 3 hernia surgeries.
Mm.
The last one being the most extensive
Mhm.
because I had the worst condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took 7 hours to fix. I have mesh in my belly.
What a mesh.
What a mesh.
What a mesh. What a mesh.
Should call it Gilga. Gilgamesh.
Oh my gosh.
Get an X-ray. What's that in there? Oh, that's just Gilgamesh.
It's a little meshy.
I don't even know because it's like across my abdomen. I had this huge tear in my belly.
Mhm.
It was horrifying. Anyway, I had the robotic surgery, but I didn't really care for a long time, and I do care now because of all those problems I had. Like,
Yeah.
I found that exercise actually does help. It doesn't
Yeah.
cure me, but feeling good in my body
Mhm.
makes me feel good in general, which boosts my mood,
Yeah.
which makes me more productive and less depressed.
Yeah. It all works together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been on quite a journey with my health. I was thinking about this. So when I was a kid, we always had regular doctor's visits, regular dentists. It was just ingrained. It was in me. And, my dad had a really good health plan through his work. He worked for DuPont. So even after, well, I was covered under insurance for a while. I was in my 20s. And then I just self-paid because I would go to the doctor like twice a year. I'd go to the dentist twice a year, unless I had a problem. But I didn't at that time. I was in my 20s. I was really healthy. Then after I got married, we didn't have insurance. And then we did, and then we didn't. And we were just scraping by, really. And my thought was, well, if I can just keep myself really healthy, I'm going to eat right, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to take supplements, I'm going to drink enough water, I'm going to, take care of my body. And then I won't really need a doctor, was sort of my thinking. And then there was that whole thing in the early 2000s, they had sort of like anti-vax movement. And I'll confess, I got into that a little bit too. And so I've always been uncomfortable around doctors. I don't even know why. I mean, maybe something will come up in therapy, But my thinking was I just didn't want to go. I didn't want to have to go. I wanted to just take care of myself. And it worked for a while, except during all of this, so in 2002, I was in the best shape of my life. I was muscular. I was eating well. I had all kinds of strength and vitality and all of that good stuff. But then I started getting pain in my chest. And I thought, well, that's weird. And it got really intense. And I was monitoring my heartbeat and I was like, my heart sounds fine. And I was so in this mentality of, I'm fine, I'll just breathe through it, And so the pain subsided. So I thought, all right, well, let me just get back on with my life. I felt okay. So I kept on with my weightlifting. I kept on with my running. Except some days went by and I just started feeling, I don't even know how to describe it exactly, just kind of yucky all over. And I just knew, like, I felt the alarm bells going off inside of me, like something's wrong. So I set up an appointment with my doctor. He listened to my lungs and he's like, you need to get a chest x-ray. So I went to this chest x-ray and it was a waiting one. So I was waiting for the results. And I was waiting in this waiting area and there's this phone and it rang. And I picked it up. It was my doctor. And he very calmly said, don't drive yourself. Get someone to take you to the hospital immediately and tell them you have a spontaneous pneumothorax. And I was like, okay. So I hang up the phone. And I was like, spontaneous pneumothorax, what even is that? Because I was just so like trying to wrap my head around it. I didn't even think to ask him. And I'm just pacing in the, I called my now ex-husband to come pick me up. And I'm just waiting and I'm waiting for him to come. And I'm like pacing and just like scared. Well, that morning before I got the chest x-ray, I had done a leg workout at the Y. That night, I was admitted to Christiana Hospital with a lung collapse. That's what spontaneous. It happened on its own. Pneumothorax, collapsed lung. And it had actually started to heal in the collapsed position. And if I had let it go on, they said I probably wouldn't have survived. So in the morning, I was doing a leg workout. That night, late afternoon, I got a chest tube, had a reaction, almost died, was in ICU. I was in ICU for 4 days, I think. 3 days. I think it was 3 days, actually. So I went from, muscular and strong and thinking everything was fine I remember coming to an ICU because I had passed out in the process and they were saving my life and all these things happened. And I just felt so weak and just so, just completely drained. And I remember the phrase "weak as a kitten" came to mind.
Yeah.
And it was during that whole health crisis that they found out that I have a most likely congenital and it's inherited lung condition where I have these, they're either liquid filled or air filled cysts in my lungs. And
Now, you were born with a lung problem, right?
oh, yes. So yeah, there's, yeah, it actually started very young. I actually was born with 2 collapsed lungs.
That's gracious.
And so I spent my first 72 hours fighting for my life.
Yeah.
So I forgot that little detail.
That's why you have a best friend
Yes.
to help you.
It happened so long ago,
Well, you didn't know you existed at that point.
Yeah.
So since then, what kind of a journey have you been on with this? Because you mentioned you struggled or you've been on quite the journey.
Yeah. So coming to terms with having a lung condition, chronic, something that's not going to go away. I couldn't help but accept it after what happened. But then it's like, well, what does that look like? How do I live with this? And there's still a certain amount of denial. In fact, to this day, I still struggle with that because most days I have felt fine.
Until you don't.
Until I don't. And, and when I don't feel well, that's when I'm like, oh yeah, I need to take this seriously. And, but still I struggle to actually make the appointment to go be seen. The hardest thing is to make the appointment. After I've made it, then it's fine. I don't even get nervous going in. It's whatever, but I have there's this anxiety. There's this, I don't want to do this. And I think I need to talk to my therapist about what the heck is going on there. But
yeah.
So, I've been kind of hit or miss over the years. A lot of it would depend on, okay, whether or not I have insurance. If I don't, then I'm procrastinating or trying to save up money or something, even though, they're great. You can get out a payment plan. In fact, yeah, I need to get in my bills and do some more paying. But squirrel. But the things I tell myself because I don't want to have to deal with it. And there's also, in the last couple of years, I've really struggled with shame. And that shame has just made me, it's like I don't care about myself. I started feeling very fatalistic when it came to my health. It's kind of like, if I die, I die. I'll go see Jesus. It's like, wait a minute, Ev. Where's this coming from? And I really struggled to believe that I'm worth it. Yeah, I struggled to believe that I'm, it's just been very recently that I actually believe that I am not in trouble or a problem for sucking air, for taking up space, that I just feel like I'm a problem wherever I go. And that sort of thinking came very early as a child because I would, create chaos a lot of times. But it's interesting, the meta message that comes from that kind of thing. And so actually, I would get myself, okay, here we go. I need to do the thing. Let me call my doctor. Let me schedule the lab work. Let me, and then I do it. And I was like, yeah, I did it, And then time would go by and I was like, I'm fine, whatever. Or even going back to, it'll be fine if I just go back to that. I can just take care of myself. But I think it's really been like this last bout of problems with my lungs where I get symptomatic, which reminds me, oh yeah, this is a thing, that I really actually spent some time thinking about it. And I thought, okay, so I need to take care of myself. Oh, actually, let me back up. I actually am starting to believe that I am worth taking care of, that people do love me as I am, that I don't just bring problems and chaos with me. And I actually believe that I would be very much missed if something happened.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I actually believe that now. And so even when I have trouble doing it for myself, I think about the impact of my not doing it. And sometimes that helps me then. I think about others that would be impacted and they go, okay, but also for your own sake.
Yeah.
And so, speaking of lung doctor, I finally made the call. Although I had been procrastinating for a couple of months
Yeah.
prior to my symptoms really kicking up.
Yeah. It feels like with chronic issues like that, and we've talked about how, CPTSD is chronic. It's a disability. It doesn't go away on its own. Like you have to actually train yourself to live with it. It's not really that much different with a chronic health issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I have diabetes, so that means I have to be on top of my blood sugars and taking my medications and getting my blood tests done and seeing my doctor. My doctor tells me frequently enough how happy she is that I'm making all the efforts I make to keep myself as healthy as I can, and that she's proud of me. Right? And I love that. It helps. But I also think to myself, wow, she must really have a lot of people who just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who don't take care of themselves, who have diabetes and just refuse to do anything. And then they have a crisis and then save me, because they've been ignoring their high blood sugar. And now they have some problem because of it.
Yeah.
That requires them to go to the hospital, or have some sort of drastic intervention. But I think it's more common than we think it is for people to not care about their health, even if they don't have trauma.
Yeah.
But I do think there is enough people who do care, and it's just normal for them to make appointments and go to the doctor. Like Evelyn, you're talking about chronically feeling shamed to the point where you're just not making the appointments, even though you have a chronic, pretty much lifelong problem.
Condition, yeah.
I was going to say condition, but then I forgot the word.
Thank
you. Even though you should be regularly seeing your lung specialist and keeping on top of it so you can manage, because you do have flare-ups. Like since I've known you, it's been almost 10 years. You have them every year, at least once a year in the fall. This year, for whatever reason, it's been in the winter.
Yeah.
But you do have these flare-ups, and I'm not a doctor, so I don't know if that could lead to another lung collapse or not. But if you're not like taking care of it, if you're not on top of it, you don't know where you're at with things. Like me with my food problems, you could end up in a crisis. Or Rochelle, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the crises you've been in?
Yeah. When I was in my 20s, my first experience, well, other than when I was a little kid, but up until I was pretty sick. Like, I got bronchitis every year as a kid, and like was sick a lot. When I was a very young baby to like 4 years old, I had pneumonia, and I almost died, I guess, a couple of times when that happened. I remember the last time I was in the hospital, I was like 4 years old. I remember bits and pieces of it. But as a young adult, the first like major experience I had at the hospital, which I was only like 20 something. I feel a little silly. I cut a potato. Wasn't taught to use a cutting board, so I cut it like this on my hand, and I cut my hand, and it did hurt, and it was bad, but I didn't think, I knew how to clean the wound, so I cleaned it, I bandaged it, and went back to work. And like a week later, I was at work, and I was really feeling terrible. Like I feel like I had a fever and body aches, and like I just was not feeling good. And I was standing there, and apparently I collapsed, and someone happened to catch me. The supervisors happened to turn around and see me falling, and she grabbed me. She was a pretty big lady, and she let me to the floor. I had staph from that, which I didn't know could happen, because it seemed like a fairly minor cut. I was in ICU for 2.5 days, and they moved me to a regular room. I recovered fairly quickly. I think I was 24, 25 at the time. That was my first major like health thing. And then shortly thereafter, I got psoriasis and acid reflux almost at the same time. Actually, they started when I was in my early 20s, like 21 or 22, and I didn't know what was going on. And so I went to the doctors and said, I have the skin thing, and it was on my legs at that time. It was really bad. And then I had acid reflux. I could feel it like in my entire chest, and my back was just always on fire. I didn't know what was happening to me. And they did a bunch of tests like, oh, you have acid reflux disease or GERD or whatever you call it. I was like, oh, great. So it's pretty early on major health issues. The psoriasis was out of control for a really long time because I ate way too much sugar. Once I figured out that sugar was kind of the issue, like 3 years ago, I've been working on that. And it's manageable now. Much more manageable. And then the acid reflux got under control fairly quickly, but I still have some flare-ups here and there after I figured out what to do. But my thing is, neglect has always, like we've been talking about, has always been my biggest problem. Like I lost this tooth in the front, and my wisdom teeth, obviously they usually come out anyways, but one of them broke, was rotting out, broke. This one in the front broke, and I had to get that pulled. And very recently. And like, I didn't think it mattered. Like, kind of like what I was saying, I didn't think it mattered if I was sort of fatalistic about my health for a long time, especially when I was younger. Because nothing I had was life-threatening. Like, I had chronic GERD and I had psoriasis, but they weren't going to kill me. And then when I was 46, I had congestive heart failure. And that changed everything, how I thought about, even though I still struggle with at times, remembering to call the doctor and make appointments. Because a psychiatric nurse, figured out it was because I was having, and I've talked about this on the podcast before, but she figured out I was having almost constant panic attacks, and I have high blood pressure as well. So those two things had caused the congestive heart failure. And there was no, by the miracle, there was no, what did they call it again? They did the catheterization, and they didn't have to put any stents in. There was no heart disease, which is really miraculous. No heart arteries or anything like that. I do have high cholesterol, but there was no need for stents, which was surprising to me, especially. I felt it was a blessing and a miracle from God. I really did, because I didn't expect that at all. And it's a struggle now for me to take it seriously, but I understand the importance of it, especially now, because people do care. And when you grow up and you don't think anybody cares about you, it's hard to care about yourself. And it's hard to love yourself. It's hard to think about.
Are you getting emotional?
Yeah, shocking, I know.
It's okay. You can be emotional.
It's really hard to think about, like, loving yourself enough to take care of yourself in the way that you need to. And cutting back on sugar has been one of the hardest, but also one of the best things I've done for myself. I'm struggling now with exercise and fitness level. We talked about that in class a couple of days ago. And the fitness level, and that's my next step. Like, what can I do for that? And I'm still struggling with food to some degree. I'm not ever going to say I've arrived. It's definitely a journey. But like, it's what I have to think about when I start something new is I care about myself enough, and I care about the people that are around me enough to stick around as long as I can. Because it really, I mean, we really just, I mean, if we're going to get a little bit spiritual about it, God expects us to be good stewards with our bodies as much as with our possessions or anything else. He expects us to take care of ourselves while we're here. And that was impressed upon me early on. Of course, I didn't really get it. I was in my 20s because you kind of take your health for granted. You kind of think you're invincible. You got a couple of things that are kind of annoying, but they're not life-threatening, so you just kind of deal with it and move on with your life. And coming to the point of caring about yourself enough to reduce, for me specifically, to learn how to reduce my stress levels, to reparent my brain, to not panic over everything, to not eat so much sugar, to not, all the things I've been trying to do. It takes so much work. It takes so much, like, one, patience with yourself, and two, understanding where I am and how I feel about myself. It's really a daily thing, because I can very easily go back to not caring and not doing anything for myself and not taking care of myself and not caring how the people around me feel about me. Like, that can all come back very easily. When I really sit and think about it, like, how much time do I want to have? That's really up to me. Our bodies are going to give out someday, obviously. They don't last forever, but we can do everything we can. We should do everything we can to maintain them, to get healthier while we're here. I wish I had realized this sooner, but this is where we are. Yeah. And I think for me, therapy has been one of the most consistent therapy, because I did therapy in my 20s and 30s and 40s, but it wasn't consistent. Like, I've been the most consistent the past 4 years, the therapist I have now. And I think that's been the most helpful thing for me in terms of health, because it kind of precedes everything else. Because if I view myself a certain way, like we're talking about, I'm likely to do the other things that I need to do to take care of myself in other ways.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's some themes that I'm hearing with you guys talking, and I echo those themes in my own life, which is, it's hard to care about yourself. And I think for people who have trauma, it's about the shame.
Yeah.
We feel so bad about ourselves. Why would we bother to care enough to do anything? Like,
right.
Go to the doctor, take your medications, exercise, eat right, etc. The other one you guys mentioned, and I went through this myself, was, well, nobody cares about me anyway. Or, right, as Evelyn said, I'm such a problem. Like,
yeah,
why would anybody want me? I've felt that way too, for different reasons, but I have definitely felt rejected, and like nobody really cares about my existence. I remember lying awake at night going, well, if I died, who would come to my funeral?
Mm-hmm.
And at one point I was like, not very many people, if any. I felt a little sad about that. I felt like I need to change that dynamic.
Yeah.
You know, I think these days, because I prioritize relationships, I work on healthy relationships with whomever I'm involved with, that I feel like if I suddenly died, there would be people at my funeral, people who cared about me.
Hello.
Yes. Yes. You too better be there. I'm not going to die today. But the other thing Rochelle mentioned, I think is another theme, is the why. And I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, I feel that I have a purpose in life that God's given me. And I can't do that purpose. I can't be that person. I can't work for God if I'm not doing my best to be my best.
Yeah.
And my main my main ministry to the world is to be that voice of confrontation and reason and support and like spark hope in people. That's my main purpose. So
Yeah.
how can I do that if I am not taking care of myself? First of all, that would make me a hypocrite.
Yeah.
And I cannot stand hypocrisy. It drives me in myself and other people. I really don't like it.
Yeah.
Since I value not being hypocritical, I try to do things and that get me out of that place
Mm-hmm.
into being a person of integrity. So if, Evelyn's struggling with her lungs, right? And I am ignoring something in my life that's a health issue,
Mm-hmm.
how can I say to Evelyn, you need to go see your doctor if I'm not doing it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't. And I can't spark
No.
that hope in other people if I'm being a hypocrite about something.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm coming from with all of this, is so that I am useful to God and I am doing that thing that Jesus said, or I'm not doing that thing Jesus said not to do, which is to see your log but not pay attention, or see your spec but not pay attention to my log.
Yeah.
Right? So that for me is where I'm at with this. And I'm not saying I do it perfectly. I probably need some work in some areas, like right now. Oh, I've given birth to 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this period between the beginning of labor and the transition.
Yeah.
Right? The labor part of it,
Mm-hmm.
where you're just bearing with the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sort of where I'm at with my food addiction and disordered eating, is I'm bearing with the pain. I haven't gotten to transition yet, but it's really difficult work to focus on. I had a binge today. I'll say it out loud. So obviously I'm not being perfect with it. The binging is less frequent than it used to be.
Yeah.
I don't know why I binged today. Like after lunch, I just like multiple desserts. And I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I don't know why that happened. But what keeps me out of hypocrisy is I am focused on changing it.
Yes.
With the knowledge that it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take effort. I see my therapist again on Monday. We can talk about the binging. Why did it even happen?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like health practices, eating better, changing your relationship with food.
Yeah.
Exercising in some fashion, going to your doctors, doing activities, having hobbies, being in community, being part of a faith group, whatever. Those are things that may not happen all at once. Right. It's something those are things you have to want to do. And which is why we're talking about this.
Yeah. Yeah. True. To have that want to have that. And also to make it doable. I was thinking, people talk about New Year's resolutions, and there for a while, I was so against New Year's resolutions. And to be honest, I am not by nature a goal setter or whatever, because I just think I'm just going to screw it up anyway by bother.
Right.
But, in our martial art, though, we got together, we had a brunch just after New Year's. And we were supposed to talk about our goals for the new year. And I'm starting to, get into a cold sweat. Oh, no, the goals thing, because that to me sounds like New Year's resolutions, or, you know what I mean? That like, there's a part of me that goes, I don't want to do that because I'm just going to screw it up anyway. There again, that fatalistic thinking. But then I started to Well, I'm a Christian, so I was like, all right, God, you know my tendency to think this way. I don't want to think this way. And so would you help me to make it doable? So I'm not just seeing this giant thing and going, I can't. And one of the things, so very simple. So first of all, we have this little app that we do, all three of us do, where it's got our little list of things to do on a given day. And you go through and you get points and things, and you've got this little avatar, it's so cute. But I started to do that. And then I started thinking about, okay, I've got this one goal where I'm going to do, and I created this one for myself, either cardio or strength training every day. And then I was like, I'm setting myself up for failure. No one can do that every day. But I felt like I should do it. And then I was like, what could that look like? So there is this YouTuber. She's called Fabulous 50s, and she's from Australia. So she's got this wonderful accent. Guess what? I think it was yesterday. Yesterday, I was like, okay, I need something that I do every day. I set a time in the morning, but I was like, it's got to be short, because at this point, I'm not up to getting up any earlier than 5:45. That's a struggle. And I had to work on getting to bed earlier. So I find this. Guess what? She started this new program, and it's like 10 minutes. It's an intense 10 minutes, and I usually do stretching, some warm-up stretching before and after, but it's doable. And I'm actually like excited to do it the next day. And because it's a daily thing, and I've done this sort of thing before, it becomes then, it helps to create this rhythm, this new habit. And so my goal then is, when it comes to these things, one day at a time. I get up today and I do the best I can, instead of, oh no, I have to do, no, I only have to do one moment at a time. I don't have to worry about, I don't know what's going to happen after dinner when I should be focusing on exercising.
Mhm.
There is a time to sit down, and I usually sit down. I've got a little planner and I write down the stuff that I want to do on a given day, or that I need to do, pre-fill the calendar with all the doctor's appointments or whatever.
Mhm.
But instead of having this all or nothing, either I'm doing it or I'm not, do a little bit. Right now I'm doing 10 minutes of pretty intense exercise, and that's good. And I feel, Steph had mentioned feeling better. I feel good for two reasons. For one thing, I'm not giving up. And I feel good after I exercise.
Yeah. There's an endorphins boost.
I think for us, it's endorphins.
I was thinking endorphins.
That's a thing my husband says. He made that term up a long time ago.
Endorphins.
Yeah,
because he's a dork,
of course.
And then also with the food, because if I don't plan, I'm just sort of grabbing whatever. And I tell you, at Christmas time, I was
grabbing whatever.
Oh man, the cookies, the pie, all of it.
Cinnamon rolls.
Oh, synonym rolls for this editor.
By some miracle, from the beginning of December to the beginning of January, I lost 2 pounds.
Yeah,
despite the cinnamon rolls and all the candy and everything.
Oh no, I totally gained, and that was bothering me. I gained 5, depending on the scale, at least 5 pounds.
Mm.
So I'm like, not only that, I mean, it's not just the weight gain, but also not having a regular exercise routine. Because I have done, like I'd mentioned before, I was working out 6 days a week when I was really, really fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it. It was part of my life. I felt great. It's just developing that habit. It's not only going, I should do this, and then doing it sporadically, which I had been doing, and then the weight gain, and then just flabby, I don't have energy. It's it's okay, let me set aside a time. And I have a specific time in the morning, and I've got that little it's a 15-minute window at this point.
Nice.
And it's
well,
working.
Congratulations on that, because that's really huge. Like,
Yeah.
developing these habits.
And I had started to mention about the food too. So when I'm thinking about it, I go to work every day, and I'm trying to eat out as little as possible to save money. So I'm looking in the fridge and I'm thinking, okay, I need some good veggies, I need protein. And I put it all together. And then sometimes I'll put a little treat in there, here or there, a little something. But I'm starting to go back to, I love fruit. Fruit is my treat, instead of, I wish I could eat a cookie. It's like, oh, I love peaches. I've had peaches today. And I was actually excited to eat them. And I had this really good lunch, and I didn't feel bleh afterwards, which I do if if I'm not eating well.
Yeah. Something that came to mind when you were talking of is there's benefits and rewards to making these changes.
Mm-hmm.
I said to Mike today, because Wednesday is our workout day.
Mm-hmm.
My husband and I go together most of the time. And Mike has me doing all kinds of crazy crap. Usually it's heavy. I don't know what the highest weight was I lifted today, but it was heavy.
Mm-hmm.
He made me take my shoes off so I would rotate my feet out a little more. He made me hold myself in a squatted. Now I say made me, but I'm paying him. Okay.
Yeah. Not really making you, per se.
Right.
Well,
I go and I obey.
I was going to say, you're choosing to submit to the training.
Yes, I'm obeying.
Yes, sir.
So I was in this really wide open sumo squat, down and holding it for 30 seconds. He's like, how do you feel? I said, my legs hate you. It's like, no joint pain though. It's like, no, they just hate you. And then go over here and lift that thing off the floor. Now let me tell you something. I sometimes go to the gym in a really bad mood. Or I wake up feeling really bad, like, because we go early. We go about 8:30. I'm in a terrible mood. I've been having a terrible time. Like, Christmas holiday sucked in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Emotionally for me. And I'll get there and he'll put me through my paces, doing, crazy, heavy pushing, pulling, lifting, squatting, whatever, mobility work. And I will be in a so much better mood.
Yeah.
When I can get to the dojo in the worst mood, feeling very terrible, I don't want to be there. I'm the one in charge, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be there. I don't want to do anything. I just want to be on my couch with my phone, zoned out. And I switch out of that, start teaching, forget all about the problems, and I feel so much better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Immediately, like, I walk away going, oh, why did I not want to do this? Yeah.
I have a similar experience. Not every time I go to the dojo, but pretty much every time, because I'm always so tired and, like, after work and everything, and I'm like, almost always have a case of I don't want to. But the time we're done, even last night, is what we went through last night was still fun, and it still was, like, exhilarating. And I never regret going. Never ever feel bad about having gone to a class.
The mood boosting benefits of whatever it is you're choosing to do is worth it, because it takes so much effort and energy to focus on trauma recovery.
Yeah.
Yes.
That the benefits you get out of doing all these things help support that energy expenditure. Like, if you're chronically feeling shamed about not going to the doctor when you know you need to, that takes away from your reserves.
Yeah.
The shame pulls on your energy and sucks it dry. Now you have
It
nothing
really
left
does. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the actual work that you need to do. So when you are engaging in things that have positive benefits and rewards, then you're starting to fill up your tank.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
not chronically deplete it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hit a moment like today when I was binging, now that was mindless binging today. I wasn't like, I know I want to binge. Like, I wasn't doing that today.
You
I
weren't
have done
thinking
that
about
recently.
it. Yeah.
But today was not one of those days. So the work is coming after the binge.
Yeah.
Why did I binge? Now, if I sit and think about it, or if I talk about it, or if I go to therapy about it, or whatever I do, it takes energy
Right.
to talk about it, to think about it, to do something different next time.
Mm-hmm.
If I am feeling the urge to binge and I'm aware of it, making the choice not to takes energy.
Yes.
Yes, it does. It definitely does.
So if I'm already depleted, it's much harder to say no.
Yeah.
And you know, like, we all know there's an ongoing struggle of, okay, I've said no, but that doesn't mean the feeling's gone away. I still want the binge. It's still there. You're still hanging on to that feeling of like, I really want that candy bar. I really want that donut, like it, or whatever. It's still there, and it's taking your energy. And let me just say, like, we're all martial artists. Something that does help is getting involved in something like martial arts, dancing, or going to some kind of
group,
meeting, some group,
kind of
something
group,
like
yeah.
that will replenish you. It replenishes me to be part of this martial art and gives me something I don't get anywhere else. Like, I go to my job, I love the people I work with, they're great, but they take the energy, and my job takes energy because that's what it requires. I don't get filled by that. I get filled by going to the martial art and learning a skill and learning and improving in that and being challenged by it.
Yeah.
And even if you're like introverted or whatever, there are things you can do that will do that for you, especially if you have trauma. It's really important to find ways to, like Stephanie was saying, to fill your tank. So you're not always depleted and not always feeling down or feeling whatever, I don't want to say depressed. It's a totally separate thing, but struggling, I guess, would be a good way of putting it.
Yeah. The last thing I wanted to talk about was something you both mentioned, and I felt as well, which is this idea that you matter. Because if you feel like you don't, like you said, what's the point in engaging in anything that boosts your mood, that gives you happiness or replenishment, refreshment? Why would you bother going to the doctors and taking care of your health? What's the point? Nobody cares. I should just die anyway. Like, so many people feel like that. And we don't have, I think, as a society, people saying to each other, because it feels like in society right now, we're so at each other's throats that no one is encouraging another person in a way that actually boosts their confidence or their mood.
Yeah.
But I think if you're since we're talking about trauma recovery, because shame is such a central theme to this, not believing the shame and believing that you're worth something and believing that you matter is really difficult to do. If you've never had that introduced to you by someone else, it's really hard to just believe.
Right.
Yes. And it's hard to, because I struggle with it. There'll be some days when it's easier and like not as much of a struggle, but then it'll just come up and it'll be so tempting to just slip back into that believing. and I have to stop and go, what do I actually believe and why? You know, where did this come from? And what can I tell myself that's true? Because what I found is, even though I thought it was true, I didn't question it because the evidence was there since I was a child. I would just bring chaos with me. And so you're bad, you're a problem, you know, the things that either directly or indirectly I got.
You brought chaos with you and it was a problem, but you didn't develop any sense of, and people love me.
Yes.
Right.
It was always like, maybe they did love me, but it's because they had to, like a parent, or they put up with me.
Yeah.
But not that kind of like actual, I really care about you, I'm glad you're here. You know, it's not just that generalized, well, you're supposed to love everyone, but actually believing.
Yeah.
And it's funny because once I started to tell myself the truth about it, there was this one that kept playing in my head. You know, if for whatever reason you can't work anymore, they'll just replace you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true, the work needs to be done, but I found myself starting to think that at work. But there's this one lady, she hasn't been there the last few days because she's actually on a work trip. And I just felt, I had that thought like, I miss her.
Mm-hmm.
Even if someone else were to come and replace her, I would miss her. And then I thought, I'll bet people would miss me. And then, yeah.
Because if you say, I bet people would miss me about the rest of your life, I'd be like, yes.
Well, yeah. So,
you know, I would miss you.
I would miss you too, very much.
Actually believing it, you know, actually believing it.
Should be
like,
obvious.
It's so funny because I know it's supposed to be obvious. But until I deal with that underneath that's undermining the obvious, I'll still fall back into that and have to pull myself out. Now, I think as I'm getting sort of rewired, there is going to be that where I'll start to fall back and oh no, you know, and I have to kind of, there's that push and pull and until I can get some traction. And I feel like I'm finally getting some traction. I feel like I'm finally starting to believe that I'm on this earth for a reason.
Absolutely.
I haven't really believed that most of my life because I never felt that like I'm going to be a nurse when I grow up or any of that. You know, I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm here for and I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
But, you know, every day I get up and there are things to do and there are places to be. And it's not just plodding through the day, but looking for opportunities to connect with people instead of my tendency to hide in my office in my little cubby hole and, you know, I'm at my computer and don't bother me. Yes,
like
that's
how
I
type. Fake types.
I mean, I'm like,
it's our favorite.
when I start to catch myself doing that, I think about how much I enjoy it. Like when one of my coworkers talks to me and I think, I want to go talk to Emily. So I get up and walk down the hall and hi, Emily, you know. And to see, you know, once you start realizing you do matter and you start to genuinely care about others, care about yourself. I think caring about yourself, caring about others kind of goes hand in hand. And then when they see you and you see that little, that smile on their face, you know, and you're like, wow, I put that there, you know, or they come up and or, you know, just that connection, whether it's in the dojo, at the workplace, hanging out with friends, you know, celebrating that and to realize that it's not them, they're so awesome. And then they put up with me, but we're all in this together. And we all need each other and we're all important.
Yes. And isn't it a little strange to, and I think this is clearly a symptom of trauma, to think that the people we're closest to wouldn't care about us. Like, it's just we're sort of blind to that idea. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like it would be true, even though your mom, your son, your daughters, Rochelle and I, like, something happened to you, we would all be devastated.
Yeah.
Right. And I know, because I've felt the same feeling. Like, if I just disappeared, would it matter?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a trauma thing. Like, I don't think it's
definitely.
I don't think it's just there because it's there. I think it's because of the events of our lives, the way we were treated.
Yeah.
The results of that is this sort of weird blindness to mattering to the people around us. But I think we can develop a sense of connection to the point where we can feel that we matter.
Yeah.
And real, like you were saying, Evelyn, that the two things go together. Caring about ourselves, caring about others, making that connection together will put us in a place where my presence matters.
Yeah.
In this life. And that's a really hard place to get to when you're chronically filled with shame.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even if you're not, I think it's just sort of a general problem.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's a human problem. Wanting to matter creates a lot of problems for people.
Yeah.
You know, but mattering to people is on you to make the connections, to reach out to someone, to form a friendship. Like, recently I've been feeling like, well, my old church, all those related friendships, or most of them, have fallen away. Outside of my little family, Evelyn, her mom, I don't really have much going on that way. What do I do? So I've been feeling pretty strongly that I needed to invest more time into visiting what they call life groups at our church and start developing relationships with people. That's my responsibility. That's on me.
Yeah.
I have to make that happen, because people are not going to magically appear in my life.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
And
especially if we stay at home and
just because I sit there and wish really strongly, I'm not going to suddenly have a friend.
Right.
I mean, I did pray for about 2 to 3 years before I met you, Evelyn, that meeting you was an answer to my prayers. And, you know, that did happen. But as I told your mom and you this weekend, I said, you're the person I've been looking for my entire life. That's, you know, my relationship with Rochelle is special. No one else can fill that space. Like, Rochelle's special. I don't know how to describe it. But outside of that, you know, I've been looking for that best friend my entire life, and you weren't there for most of my life.
Yeah.
But here we are.
We are.
You know, we've been close friends for 10 years now, which feels significant.
It is.
And we've survived a lot.
Yes.
And we're still going strong and even stronger.
Yeah.
And that connection matters to me a whole heck of a lot. Like, I can't imagine you not being in my life. Like, my friendship with you is not like a normal hangout friendship. It's something special.
Yeah.
And with Rochelle, you know, we've been together since she was born. And because I'm the oldest, in case I never mentioned that.
I think we have sometimes.
I'm only the middle child in this trio, but I act like the oldest.
Oh yeah.
Only technically she's the middle child. We all know she's really the eldest.
You're not the oldest, but you're the eldest. Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
You're right. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, my connection with my husband is special. Like, I've told him, after you, I'm done. I'm not going to marry anybody else.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody else. You're it. So, I try to make things deliberate. I try to make things on purpose. I try to make connections because it's on me to do so.
Yeah.
It's my responsibility.
Yeah.
My health is my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
My participation in activities is my responsibility. It's my job to fill my life with good things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to step out of victimhood, to step into victory. And even though I still struggle and am disabled, it's still my responsibility to do as best I can with my life
Mm-hmm.
for
Mhm.
my health's sake, to support myself. Oh no, am I summing up?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, it is about that time.
about
oh,
that
boy.
time.
All right.
Yeah.
Shall I make it official then?
Let's make it
Yes,
official.
Let's make it official.
All right. Summing up. If you are a person with trauma and you're in trauma recovery, there's likely an ongoing history of ignoring things like your
Mhm.
health,
hmm
where you might have some chronic issues going on that you're not getting treatment for, and therefore your health's compromised. And we think that that has a lot to do with shame. We're not
Yeah.
clinicians, we're not therapists, we're not psychologists.
Right.
However, we're talking from experience. It
Yep.
likely has to do with shame, how you feel about yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And, as Tim Fletcher often says, it seems like every person who's ever been traumatized has shame.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, if that's true, if every person who's been traumatized has shame, that means your starting place is you don't matter.
Yeah.
No one cares
Yeah.
about you.
Yeah.
Chronically ignoring your health and other things that you need to support your life. Hiding, denying, deflecting, all the
Mhm.
things. So we've reflected on how we've done that in our own lives, and we recognize the need for supporting your journey, supporting yourself with good things,
Mm-hmm.
which includes exercise, going to the doctors for your health, getting your checkups done, going to the dentist even.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Go to the dentist, go to the eye
I can
doctor,
attest-
go to your
I can attest to
GP.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the things to support your health that you need to do. If you have a chronic condition like myself or Evelyn or Rochelle, go see your doctor, get your medications, take your
Yeah.
medications.
Yes.
Join groups, whether it's some
Yeah.
kind of a support group or some kind of hobby or activity, something you enjoy doing with other people. Go to the gym, go on a
Mhm.
walk, dance, do anything that gets your body moving.
Take a martial art.
Take a martial art. If you're new art, contact me.
Oh yeah.
There's a variety of things we're going to be talking about in the next several weeks.
Yeah.
But do these things to fill up your tank so that you can support your work to recover. Because the more you put into your tank, the better you're going to feel, and the more energy you're going to have to deal with the problems.
Mm-hmm.
Because inevitably they're coming. You can't
Mhm.
escape
Yes.
it. And instead of falling back to addiction and all the other things that we do to avoid pain,
Right.
if you want to actually recover, you're going to be in pain.
Yeah.
But if you're supported in some way through all the activities and more that we've mentioned, it's going to be a bit excuse me. It's going to be a bit easier to do.
Yeah.
It's going to be easier because you have the brain boost from
Mm-hmm.
exercising. You have the replenishment from being around people, having
Yeah.
good positive relationships. So we're encouraging you. We're telling you, because you exist, you
Yes.
matter,
Yes.
and we care about you. Even though we don't know you, we do care about you.
Yeah.
Or even if we don't know you, because maybe somebody we know is listening to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even if we don't know, there's my finger. Even if we don't know you, you matter,
That's right.
and you're worth the work. and you're worth supporting.
Yes.
And you need to see that and hear that and realize that you need to take care of yourself
Yes.
and you need to support yourself. And we're here to encourage you, which is what we're doing right now. We're encouraging you, the listener, to care about yourself and to do the right thing.
Yes.
Help
Mhm.
yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything to add to that?
I think you summed it up pretty
I-
well.
Oh, good. I almost choked on it. I got to drink a drink of water.
Yeah. Seems my word tank is empty, so
Poor tank. There's a whole tank.
I need to go replenish it.
I think you have an instantaneous replenishment program running in your brain.
Program? There's a whole program for that? Wow.
Yeah, she's coded for word replacement.
Sure, she's
Word.
an editor after all.
I'm an editor.
She's a
I
word
love
nerd.
words.
She has a
Word
T-shirt
nerd.
that says that. I bought it for her.
Yes, I love it. One of my all-time favorites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good color.
Mm-hmm.
It's bright yellow,
Yes.
like a golden
Right,
rod.
yellow. Yep. That rod is golden.
Yeah.
You want to hear something weird from the internet
Okay.
pertaining
Why
to
not?
the golden rod?
Okay.
It's probably 10 years ago. Fran was remembering a song from his childhood that had the word goldenrod in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious, so I Googled it and I came
Mhm.
across this blog page and I found the song and I commented on it.
Mm-hmm.
This was 10 years ago. Every once in a while, I get an email that says somebody commented on that blog post from 10 years ago about something about goldenrods.
That's funny.
So weird.
So random and so weird.
So-
I know.
so
I get
random.
the emails and I'm like, this was
What's
10
this
years
for?
ago.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, it's that time. Do all the things.
Do all the things, but
Push all the buttons. Like, subscribe,
Share,
comment.
subscribe,
Wait,
comment.
we're not coordinated.
Share.
Okay.
Sometimes be coordinated.
My
We're
son
all
does
over the
this.
place.
My son does this joke where he's like he's like pretending to do a YouTube video. And he never gets to what he wants to talk about. And he goes, so guys, we're going to get started before we get started. Let's talk about this sponsor today. And he just keeps going like that and never actually gets to and I feel like we need to do that.
Hmm.
I
What,
can't.
Never get to the point.
He's talking over there. He's looking at me and smiling. He's talking, but I can't hear him. Anyway, share this, please.
Yes, please share it.
Share it with someone. Share it with someone that
Share it.
needs to hear what you are,
Mhm.
what we are, not what you are saying, what we're saying. I'm getting tired, apparently.
Yeah. So if
Share it,
somebody's
Sherry.
if somebody's name came into your mind, or you thought of the person,
Yeah.
go ahead and share it. There's probably
Share
a
it.
reason.
Subscribe,
Yeah.
comment,
Do
like,
the things.
do
all
the
the
things.
All
push,
the things.
Push the buttons. Push the buttons.
Like, share, subscribe. You know what to do.
You know what to do. All
Now
right.
do
well,
it.
I'm Stephanie Dunham.
I'm Evelyn Mason.
I'm Rochelle Knapp.
Have a great day, night, morning,
Whatever.
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 Can you tell we're Gen X?
We're so
Bye.
Baby. Bye. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you got some food for thought and encouragement to keep going and keep growing. See you next time. For more episodes, you can find us on Spotify and YouTube. Comment, like, and subscribe to spread the word and help the channel grow.